YouTube. Alrighty. I'll just wait a few more minutes, make sure everybody gets in on Zoom.
I have two Kathy Hokers in the house.
If only we could.
Will the real Kathy Hoker please stand up?
It really would be so helpful if there were two of me.
I'm going to say the real one's the one without facial hair.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. As I said, there was, it seemed like there was issues with some of the emails, but I think and I did resend them, so hopefully everyone can get in. Okay. I have not gotten an email of anybody else having an issue. All right, so let's see. It is 7:32, so we will get started. Thank you everyone for coming this evening. Let me just move this. There we go. Okay, great. Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4-10, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertising such notice in the Home News Tribune, the Asbury Park Press, the Board Office, the schools, and on Cablevision Channel 118 and BIOS Channel 24, and by filing such notice with the Township Clerk. This meeting was scheduled for Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. The board will take formal action on payment of bills and other agenda items. Mr. Mara, please.
Thank you. The Old Bridge Township Board of Education acknowledges that the law of this state establishes that members of the public, including members of the board, have the right to record public board meetings using audio or video recording devices, provided that that active recording does not interfere with the business of this public board meeting. Therefore, the board makes it known that any such recording is to be considered the private recording of the individual and in no manner represents the official record of this board. The board therefore takes no responsibility for such recording, such private recording, and completely disavows any future use.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Ms. Burns?
Here.
Ms. Callie?
Here.
Mr. Caro?
Here.
Mr. DePrima?
Here.
Mr. Dunn?
Present.
Mr. Giordano?
Here.
Ms. Lent?
Ms. Lynn contacted me. She may not be able to make it this evening.
Mr. Silikowski?
Present.
Ms. Ellis Foster?
Here.
Quorum exists.
Thank you. Again, thank you, everyone. Good evening. If we can, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Great. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us this evening for our agenda meeting. We'll just get going. Can I have someone would like to do the code of ethics next week?
Burns will volunteer.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Burns. We'll have our goals. We will have the approval of minutes, which everyone should have. Did anyone have any questions or comments on any of the minutes that were sent out? Okay. We will have our high school board representative. I know the high schools really have been very busy doing a lot of great activities, so I'm excited to hear from the student representative on some of the things they've been doing at the high school. And then Mr. Citadino, we're going to have, I don't know if it's a recognition, but I think we're going to have a little holiday celebration.
Yes, I'm sorry, my mute button wouldn't unmute. We are going to have a few holiday recognition items. Some will be different than we have done in the past, but definitely we will have some opportunities to celebrate the holidays.
Thank you. You're kind of blended into your background there, just so you know.
Oh, there I am.
Oh, there
Sorry.
you are. That's okay.
Miss
Okay.
Alice Foster, I also wanted to add that we will have a very short performance from some of our Sandberg students as well.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so on to superintendent's report. I don't know, Mr. Sedidian, do you have anything for today?
Only just a few brief items. I don't know if Dr. Hoker wanted to add anything, but I will just add that today was a very nice opportunity this afternoon. Through the work that we've done as superintendents the past few years, we continued with through tradition. We started with lunch bunch with the superintendents, and we had 22 students from around the district join us for a very nice lunch that was provided by Bagel Boy, and our students were able to sit with us, I guess remotely, and we used the Zoom platform. Lunch was delivered to them at their homes, and they had an arts and crafts project, a snowman to do as well, and we all worked on that. And we talked about things that interest young children, things that interest them about schools, and ways that we can look to improve schools and what their concerns are. And it was a very nice afternoon. Dr. Hoker, do you want to add anything about that?
No, it was really nice to see the students and see how excited they were. It was actually quite enjoyable to do a craft during the middle of the day with them and see how everybody's turned out. But it was a great afternoon. And I just want to give a shout out to Mrs. Castaigne and Mrs. Knorr, who helped deliver all the lunches this morning. They did a great job too.
That's amazing. To 22 houses they had to go to deliver those lunches. So that was and again, we always talk about these only in Old Bridge type of experiences. And I think this is an only in Old Bridge experience that I don't think other districts do. So we had a great time with that. Just a little, I guess, story from there. I was talking to the group about how I learned about the color of eggs from chickens. I said I was today years old when I found out how chickens' egg colors are determined. And one of the young men raised his hand. He goes, I Googled you, you're 52 today. And unless you're 34. And then Dr. Hoker said, well, do you think he's 30? He looks 34 or 52. And he said, 52, definitely 52. So our students are very much in tune on how to use Google and find out information. He did that rather rapidly. I don't think I was finished with my sentence before he called me out on my age. But
you were going to tell us about the eggs.
What's that?
I thought you were going to tell us about the eggs.
I did that to Dr. Hoker. I just assumed there was some chemical process that made white eggs, but apparently I was wrong. It's too much time in the city for me. Growing up in an urban area, I didn't know enough about chickens and how they lay eggs. So it was good information. That might be for another lesson. I do want to add that information went out today to parents in reference to Thursday. We're expecting a significant nor'easter on Wednesday night into Thursday. In anticipation of that, we have asked our staff to prepare their lessons for an early dismissal day for that day, so that our students who have been working hard and having had a lot of normalcies not exist in their lives since the pandemic started, this way they still have the day during sunlight hours that they get out and enjoy the snowfall with their families. And the students at our meeting today determined that in part of that there should be no homework assigned for the day and no assessments assigned for Friday. So that was a unanimous decision by all 22 elementary students. We gave them the authority to make that decision, and they did. So on Friday, no students will have any homework due, and no tests on Friday as well. So we can extend that in through to the weekend and enjoy hopefully a good winter wonderland. We're looking anywhere 4 to 8 inches, could be a little more depending on where we fall in the sleet line. And tomorrow, we had to cancel the COVID testing that we've had on our property since prior to Thanksgiving. It'll be resumed again regular hours on Saturday, which would be 9 to 3 p.m., 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. And then obviously we'll take a look at that, and I'll work with the township on, as we get closer to the Christmas holiday, I'm sure many people will want to increase their level of testing. So we'll look at the testing schedule for that as we get closer. But again, thank you to the members of our community and the township who worked so hard to make this a possibility. And we have to take this again. You know, we don't want to overkill it, but it's serious. I know we'll talk about it at our next meeting, but we did lose one of our substitute faculty members relative to COVID recently. So we'll talk about that during our next faculty meeting. And it has been something that has impacted members of our community as far as their health in the past week or so. So that is all I have at this moment. Dr. Hoker, do you have anything follow up? Maybe some positivity news?
I can share that now. I don't want to take it away from Ms. Callie from the community relations. So I'll let her start it off when we get to the committees, and then I can chime in on anything that got left out.
So we'll just first ask, Mr. Mayor, do we have any correspondences?
No correspondence, Ms. Ellis Foster.
Okay. Now I know tonight we will have a special committee report, but I want to double check for next week. Do we expect, Mr. DePrima, do you have one that you want to give?
Next week.
Next week, yes. And Mr. Silikowski, will you do one next week also?
So
Matt, you're on mute.
I'm muted. Okay.
There you go.
Mr. Mara, did you get that message when I called you up?
No, I did not. I'm sorry. What message was that, Mr. Silikowski?
Jimmy Josephs, in memorandum, he passed on last Thursday. He was a school teacher here for about 40 years.
Okay, so we will definitely reflect it next week's board meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And did you say, Mr. Silikowski, you'll do a curriculum next week report?
Yes, I will.
All
And
right.
I'll also cover the 3 retirees we have so far.
You're going to have a busy night. Thank you. However, I know Mrs. Callie did want to, because of some time sensitive stuff, give a committee quick update tonight. So Mrs. Callie?
We're going to have a full committee report next week, but we wanted to just give a short update because of the timing of some of the activities that are going on. So the Community Relations and Engagement Committee met on the December 10th together with the district's Positivity Committee. And we'll be working with them at least for the next several months, working together on their initiatives. Like I said, we're going to have a full update next week, but we wanted to share a few things. December 14th, I have decorating contest.
Oh.
Dr. Hoker, you want to expand on that a little bit?
Let me put that down. Sorry.
Sure. So we launched our either a window or a door decorating contest, and really trying to bring families together again. Asking that anyone wants to participate, they send a picture of whatever they did to whatever they created and hung on their window or door to Miss Keeler. So that's akeeler@obps.org, and that information is on our website. We did run a contest last week, our food art, fun with food project. We had over 30 entries. They were very creative. The winners are on our website. We gave prizes. Our local businesses, again, supported us. We gave out gift cards to Giuseppe's and Bagel Boy and Friendly's. And we had 9 winners. So we're looking to do the same this week, and we'll share any of the pictures that are provided. And we'll announce our winners on Friday. And then we have another contest going into next week, which could be bumped up with a snowstorm. I definitely see the possibility of changing things up and adding a snowman building contest in there. So I'm hoping we see a lot of them out there in Old Bridge. I'm looking forward to that snow.
One of the other things that the Positivity Committee is doing is where there's a holiday gift card drive, and I wanted to mention that this week because actually tomorrow, is it tomorrow afternoon? The flyer says tomorrow afternoon, but somebody I was speaking to thought it was till the end of the week.
It was for tomorrow afternoon, but we were concerned about the snow,
right?
And people being able to get in, so we were extending it until Friday morning.
Okay, so you can drop off any gift cards you'd like to donate that will go to Old Bridge families in need. They're looking for ShopRite, Walmart. Kelly, do you have that flyer to share? No?
You know what, that one I did not,
Okay,
sorry.
And those
You know what, I
are
can
up
get
on
it,
our
though,
website.
It is on the website, yeah.
okay, all right, so they're on the website. There's a list of different businesses that they're looking for gift cards in any denomination that you'd like to donate. You can drop them off. There's a drop-off box at Central Administration between the hours of 9 and 3 p.m. And let's see, we did mention the snowman contest, which I was going to say, if you build a snowman during this snowstorm, take a picture of it so you're ready for the contest. And last thing was a parent webinar. Do we have that flyer, Cal? There it is.
There we go, this one I got.
Okay. There's a parent webinar on Thursday, the 17th from 7 to 8. That flyer's on the website as well.
That flyer's on the website, and the link is where you can just click the register here and register for the webinar.
Okay. Regarding resiliency and supporting your child, which sounds like a very timely topic. I know that sounds like a long report for only being a portion of it, but the rest of it will be next week, unless Dr. Hoker has anything to add.
Was there a notification sent about community relations meeting? Because I didn't see nothing.
No, it was just the 3 committee members that met with the positivity committee and parents. I think it was 2 parents from each school.
Yes.
2 parents from each school that were recommended by the principals.
I'm just wondering why the meeting wasn't publicized.
Because basically it was the positivity committee who asked the community relations and engagement committee to join them.
It was also, the positivity committee started meeting, and we felt that we wanted to bring the parents in, and we had recommendations from the principals for parents to participate. And then decided to tie it in with our community relations committee, but the timing of it was also a very short turnaround time. We only had a few days to set up the meeting, not really enough time to get out and advertise it in the time frame that we would otherwise do with public meetings.
Okay, great. And so thank you, Mrs. Kelly, Dr. Hoker, I guess, and we'll have a little bit more next week.
Yes.
So just a great things to have. Now we are on to the hearing of the residents on any agenda item only. Again, just a reminder, oh my goodness, the public hearing portion now is just on agenda items. We will have another public comment period at the end on any school district item. So just a reminder, if you are on Zoom, just raise the little hand icon and I can unmute you. If you are on the phone, hit *9. We'll wait just a second. And at this point, I do not see anyone raising their hand. So we'll close this portion of the public comments. We'll be back. And we will move on to policy that we will be having for second reading next week. Anyone from the board have any questions, comment, discussion? I think we've had these since last month, and I think we kind of talked about them at last month's meeting. Okay. If nothing, next would be curriculum and professional development. There's right now just 2 things. Does anybody have any questions, comment, discussion for the curriculum professional development? Okay, don't see anything. Right now, nothing for athletics. I don't know, do we anticipate anything else? I know we have a couple blank items that I know are placeholders just in case.
They're space holders just for right now.
Okay, thank you. All right, next then on to finance, which tonight we do have bills to approve. So if I can have a motion on finance number 1.
Ally will move.
Thank you, Mrs. Kelly. Can I have
Dunn will second.
Mr. Dunn, thank you. Any questions, comments, discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Mayor, roll call, please.
Joe, you're on mute.
You're muted, Joe.
Sorry about that, folks. Mr. Giordano,
Yes.
Mr. Silikowski, Mr. Silikowski,
I have to unmute myself. Yes.
Ms. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Callie,
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. DePrima,
Yes.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes.
Ms. Ellis Foster.
Yes,
Resolution 1 in finance passes.
thank you. Then we have 2 through 10 in finance remaining. Anybody have any questions, comments, discussion? Okay, don't see any, so we will move on. Right now, nothing in non-certificated personnel office. We will move on to non-certificated personnel operational. We have 1 item. If I can have a motion, please.
Ally will move.
DeCarlo will second.
And DeCaro, second. Thank you. Any discussion, comments? Okay, seeing none. Roll call, please, Mr. Mara.
Mr. Silikowski,
Yes.
Ms. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Callie,
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. DePrima,
Yes.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Giordano,
Yes.
Ms. Ellis Foster.
Yes.
Resolution 1 passes.
Thank you. Non-certificated personnel other. We have an item there for next week for Mr. Silikowski.
Yes, we have somebody retiring. I'll go over it next week.
Thank you. Anyone else have any other questions, comments on non-certificated personnel other? Nope. All right. Next, certificated personnel. We do have 3 items for voting today. If I could have a motion for 1 through 3.
Dunn will make a
I'll
motion.
move it. Okay.
Dunn will
done.
second.
Oh, Mr. Dunn and
Give it to Mr.
Mr.
Silikowski. I'll second
Silikowski.
it.
All right, and second by Mr. Dunn. Thank you. Any question, comment, discussion? Trying to keep an eye on everybody. Okay, not seeing none. If we can have a roll call, please, Mr. Mara.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. DePrima,
Yes.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Giordano,
Yes.
Mr. Silikowski,
Yes.
Ms. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Callie,
I am abstaining on number 2. Otherwise, yes.
Ms. Ellis Foster.
Yes,
Resolutions 1, 2, and 3 pass.
thank you. Any questions, comment, discussions on the remaining items number 4 through 16?
Yes, we have 2 teachers retiring, and I will go over that next week.
Thank you. All right, non-certificated personnel transportation, we don't have anything. Supplies, equipment, and services, we do have a resolution we need to pass. If I can have a motion, please, on number 1.
Callie will move.
Callie, thank you. Can I have a second?
DeCarlo will second.
Kara, thank you. Yeah, I don't know, Mr. Sedadino, I'm not sure if you wanted to say anything on this one.
I'll just open up by saying, as we talked about I think it was almost three plus years ago when we became first involved with this loss of state aid. We looked at different opportunities we have and properties that we had. At the time, we're looking at a serious reduction in state aid, exceeding $8 million in certain years. And we looked at our properties. We have the Cheesequake one that bringing us in $5 million of revenue worth of revenue over 10 years. The other one we looked at was the Nike-based property. And I don't want to say too much into going into the property, but obviously we're looking at opportunities for additional revenue in that property and to see if there's persons out there or businesses out there looking to acquire such property. I don't know if anything more can be said. Mr. Parton or Mr. Mara, if they want to jump in, they certainly may.
I think that's pretty much what you can say. We're looking to see what kind of interest there is in a land swap or a purchase.
Yes, and there will be an advertisement in the newspaper this week.
Great. Anyone from the board, any questions, comment, discussion?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Giordano.
Yes, as this is most likely the first time that most of the public knows about this, I want to say that I'm open to any questions or concerns about selling a property of this magnitude of size, because it's going to take a few weeks before we know whether someone's interested in it and if we do eventually plan to sell it. So I'm open to the public for any concerns if they have any.
Okay, well, Mr. Giordano, we did have our portion where the public was able to make the discussions earlier. That was that portion. So I'm not quite sure.
Well, still going forward, like some people want to research it, consider it. So if they do, I'm always available by email.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? No? Okay. Seeing none, can we have a roll call? Mr. Mara, please.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Giordano,
Abstain.
Mr. Silikowski,
Yes.
Ms. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Callie,
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. DePrima,
Yes.
Ms. Ellis Foster.
Yes.
Resolution 1 passes.
Thank you. Transportation. Any questions, comments, discussion on transportation? Okay. Under miscellaneous, we have 2 items for voting purposes this evening. Could I have a motion, please, on number 1 and 2?
Callie will move.
Thank you, Mrs. Kelly. Can I have a second?
Carol, second.
Thank you, Mrs. DeCara. Okay. And again, I don't know if Mr. Sedadino, just a quick update on what these are.
Just every year you have to have a nursing services plan. It kind of describes the role of the school nurse and how they work within the health services plan for our students. And the statement of insurance is every year through our maintenance department and working in conjunction with the building leadership and usually a PTA representative of each school. The kind of walkthroughs are done, inspections are done at the schools, and a checklist must be signed off on. And this is the accumulation of the statement of insurance that states that we did that and our buildings are working in order and functionally safely for our staff and students to occupy them.
Okay, thank you. Anyone with any questions, comments, discussion?
I do have a question. Shouldn't this have been brought up at the Health and Safety and Policy Committee meeting, or does this not usually get combed through in that kind of situation?
So this is a report that's done on an annual basis. It's required. It's more of a facilities check where we have to make sure that all the electrical is in order. Everything that's been done in the district is complying with all the code requirements. It's required to be done by September 30th each year, and we do it each year. And it's a quantitative report that where you're scored, and you have to score X amount to pass. So it's not something that we've ever brought up to any committees. We certainly could bring it up. We had a facilities committee, but it's a routine report that has to be done each year and completed in September.
Maybe we could provide a summary of that to our board members.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Did we get it? Did we get it in our packet? I thought we did.
We did get it.
Okay.
I just wasn't sure if it was something that the community also needs to know about, and that's why I thought maybe it would be mentioned at a committee meeting. So.
Okay, good. All right, thank you, Mrs. Burns. Anyone else? No? Okay, if Mr. Mayor, we can have a roll call on 1 and 2.
Mr. Sulikowski,
Yes.
Ms. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Callie,
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. DePrima,
Yes.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Giordano,
Yes.
Ms. Ellis Foster.
Yes.
Resolutions 1 and 2 pass.
All right. Now we have 1 through 7. On the board meetings, we caught it. There's a few little typos there that we will be getting fixed. That the January 19th meeting is, of course, the 21st, 2021, which we're all anxious to get to, and at 7:30. And I don't know if we did talk about how we could virtually do the organization meeting. I don't know if Mr. Parton, if you wanted to provide your opinion on that one.
Yeah, just briefly on that, the board is authorized under the current exception laws based upon the partial lockdowns and shutdowns and everything to perform any function that you normally perform via remote platforms. So swearing in, things like that, absolutely fine. The only challenge will be things that are traditionally quick action voice votes, nominations, things like that. We're going to have to do it the same way. To do that, there was some discussion of whether we could do that through preliminary emails or people typing into the chat, etc. We're going to have to do it with the traditional format, and Mr. Mara and I are just going to have to try and keep track of what part of what word we heard from everybody. So reorg will basically operate exactly like your meetings have been operating during this time. Hopefully by next year, that will no longer be the case.
And in terms of swearing in the new board members or the board members that were elected and re-elected, in the agenda, we actually put the statement that's required to be made by each new member. And I think what we'll do is we'll just let them quote that from the agenda, and Joanne will forward to them the document that they're required to sign provided at the meeting. And then that should be the simplest way to do it. They'll just send that back to me.
So next week, that will be, instead of the question marks, it'll be virtual. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, the reorg, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can have your family huddled around the.
They'll all come.
Yes, have everybody join in.
Faces.
Absolutely.
My husband will play a tune.
But it's not next week. It's in January.
In January, yeah.
Okay.
But it'll be on the agenda for next week.
No, be on the agenda at the reorg meeting, which is January 7th. And the board members will be sworn in on the basis of the number of votes that the highest vote getter will be first, but it'll be virtual. So it's January 7th, not in December.
Yeah, no. I meant to say approve the following meetings, the location for the January reorg.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments, discussion on 3 through 7?
Just, is that a clarification on the 19th. Why is that at 7 p.m.?
It's not. No,
Okay. Did I miss that already?
no.
Sorry.
Yes, you missed that. That's all right. We're going to make a few little typo corrections there.
Okay.
And it's also January 19th, the 21st, 2021. We're all anxious to get 2020 over and move on to 21. All right. There's that. Mr. Mayor, no additional board business
No,
that you
no.
anticipate? Okay.
Oh, by the way, we did not get it. Today was the first day that we were to receive questions to be presented by email. We did not receive any.
Okay, thank you. All right, great. So we're on back to hearing of the residents. So this is on any school district item. So if you are on Zoom, please just raise your hand. If you are on the phone, just hit *9. And either way, I can unmute you. So, not seeing anyone raise their hand. We will close the hearing of residents and move on to any old business.
Well, under old business, last month I asked the board to approve submission of the New Jersey Single Accountability Continuum New Jersey CUSAC District Performance Report for school year 2021. I promised to have that document delivered to you all approximately a week before this meeting. I did. It was emailed to everyone. And the actual report is also, I believe, attached to as part of the attachments. And the district has scored itself successful in each of the 5 categories. So now what will happen is, I believe in the middle or the second half of January, the county will come in and confirm our scores, confirm or change our scores where they feel it's incorrect. And what will happen is about 2 to 3 weeks prior to their arrival, they will advise us what they want to see before they actually come into the district, if they're coming into the district. And that will make a determination. That will be a final determination as to whether we officially pass CUSAC. And if we pass, I believe we're good for 3 to 5 years to not be selected for CUSAC once again. Thank you. Any questions about the CUSAC form for me, Dave, or Kathy?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Any old or new business? No?
No?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was scrolling over the other way. Okay, Mrs. Kelly. Sorry, I did not see you on that side. Thank you.
I could jump up. I could jump up if it helps.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure that the rest of the board received the invitation to for Thursday night at 6 o'clock. The Carl Sandburg Middle School Choir is doing a virtual holiday concert. And on Wednesday, December 16th at 7 p.m. via Zoom, Mrs. Silvestri has invited us to attend the National Junior Honor Society induction, again at Carl Sandburg. But according to my email, all board members were on that email. So I just wanted to remind everybody about that if they could make it. That's it.
Yes, I know, excited. Anyone else? If I don't see you, wave your hand. Yeah. Mr. Giordano.
Yes, as many of you know, the first person in New Jersey received the vaccine, and I just want to congratulate the country for what they've done in making this vaccine in record time, and hopefully we'll be starting the talks of returning to normalcy, and I look forward to seeing all of you in person very soon. This is a great day for our country, and I'm very proud and thankful for not only the people that participated in Operation Warp Speed and getting the vaccine done, but the administration and making sure that they're keeping the students healthy and keeping the health first.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? I'm just trying to get you all on my thing. All right, so we will have one more meeting for 2021. No, yeah, 2020. Sorry, 2020, and keep your eye on the district site because there are a lot of fun activities going on. Also, just a reminder to people, we do have the night school. Anybody, either a student or a parent needing any kind of assistance with anything as far as academics, the schedules are out on the website. There's at the elementary level for every grade, and at the middle school, one for every subject. So if that math is getting to you, please reach out. Our teachers are there to help with that. So everyone, please stay safe. A little excited about the snow. I think it'll be fun to have a little bit of snow. And that's it. Hopefully the kids can get out and play, but please everyone be safe with that weather. Please be safe with wearing your mask and social distancing so we can, as Mr. Giordano said, all get back together soon. So thank you very much. If we will be going into executive session, Mr. Parton.
Yes, you'll be going into executive session for issues of board property and attorney-client privilege.
Oh, okay. I thought there was going to be.
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. And we will not be coming back after. If we can, thank you. If we can have a motion, please, for closed session.
Then we'll make a motion to go into closed section to discuss the items that Mr. Parton delineated.
And thank you, Mr. Dunn. Can I have a second, please?
Burns will
I'll second it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ms.
Debbie?
Burns?
Ms.
Ms. Burns, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So we are going to executive session at 8:13. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Stay safe.